is the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON. Presented by Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. From NASCAR to local tracks, it's everything you need to know with your host, Georgia Racing Hall of Fame announcer, Charles Head.
There, and welcome to the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show here on My Country 99.3 WCON. Glad to have you along for the ride tonight. I got Jabe Jones in the house with me. Jabe, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
And it's going to be a fun night as he co-hosts with me. We got a little music coming up right now. Jason Aldean's got something for you. Not quite night outside yet, but Jason Aldean's going to be telling us all about the night train. Here he is on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Perfect.
Okay, now we're talking. We're on Facebook. Hi, everybody. Yeah, Jabe Jones is with me tonight. It's going to be a fun night as we talk about racing. Let me turn those headphones up a little bit. Is that too loud for you?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Here's a race car driver. He's got to have it loud because he's had a lot of noise in his head over the years, sort of like me with rock music and race cars and woodworking tools. I need that turned up a little bit. So anyway, Jabe, good to see you. What were you going to say, Logan?
You're a driver?
Yes, sir.
What do you drive?
Right now, it's an old Legends car.
Hey.
I retired basically about 24 years ago.
Gotcha.
24 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
2002.
He drove a lot of Hooters. He was a Hooters driver. Wait a minute. There's
No, Hooters Pro Cup Series.
Yeah, he worked with the Hooters Pro Cup Series. That's one of the things I wanted to ask you, too. You were a Jackaroo sausage driver.
Yes, sir.
That was an in-house sponsor of Hooters. I mean, that was Eastern Foods. How did you wind up with that sponsorship?
Well, I was, Eastern Foods was our sponsor there. So when we were traveling around, it was either Albertsons, Food Line, Kroger, whatever, for the first 2 years. And then when Mario left, the Jackaroo and Michael Rich left, the Jackaroo deal came up. So we took, they called and wanted to know if I wanted it. And I said, yeah, we'll take it.
Shoot, yeah, man. That's when you got a sponsor that you guaranteed and it's going to be following the series. That's a good deal.
And, the bad part was, though, Mr. Brooks owned it.
Yeah.
And so you had to put on a good show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
We did good for.
You had to show up every week.
Yes, sir. We
That's
did.
all.
What were you saying?
Who do you got for your first guest? Is it Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer Everett. Yeah, and
making
Jennifer is Jennifer's always looking forward to this. Jennifer is, let's just say, radio interviews is not Jennifer's favorite thing to do. She reminds me of Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott just wanted to drive; he didn't want to talk to the media, but Jennifer does it. And I told her I always appreciate her effort because she's a great one, and there's so many people out there that look to her and enjoy what she does on the racetrack.
Well, good. Like I say, we was at Wonder the other last weekend for the first vintage race for us after the Athens Speedway, and I got to watch some of those the lower classes. They put on a good show down there.
And I'll mention this when we go on the air with her. Modified Street's one of my favorite divisions. They still look like a car.
Yes.
Somewhat. I mean, they got sheet metal sides nowadays, but they got a little bend in them, so they still look sort of like what you'd get in the showroom. And it's just one of my favorite divisions. There's still a little bit of beating and banging that goes on there. It's not like late models where it's follow the leader. A lot of hard racing in Modified Street.
That's what I watched down there the other night, and they put on a show. Side by side, stayed that way. We had a good time watching and enjoyed ourselves. And like I say, the track people were just glad to have us there. We were glad to be there to help support the old vintage cars. Yeah, well, now
there's a new association, and we'll talk about this more as we go along. Classic Vintage Racing Series, CVRS, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Jerry Williams is going to be on. He's sort of the organizer. I guess you had a lot to do with organizing that, too.
I stayed back.
Oh, did you? Okay.
20 seconds.
Oh, what?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay, well, we got to get ready and we're going straight to her interview?
Yep, she's on the line.
Okay, but you'll play a liner first, right?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all are getting the behind-the-scenes stuff because I don't even know what's going on. We got to learn as we go. Here we go.
T-5.
All right. Got to get our radio faces on here.
Pedal to the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And one of my favorite race car drivers is on the line with us right now. It is time to talk. Who we got? Josh? Logan.
Yeah.
Make sure I know who we got.
Well, we got Jennifer on the line. Should be all good to go.
Yeah, see, I knew that, but I wanted to include you in what we're doing tonight. So
of course.
Logan tells me we got Jennifer Everett on with us right now. Jen, how you doing?
All right, there we go.
Oh, okay. Well, we got you now. We did not have you before. How are you doing, Jennifer?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We were just talking about the fact that not everybody really enjoys doing this kind of thing, but it's like what was it I saw where John Wayne said one time. He said, there's times when you got to do stuff that you don't want to do, but you know what? You saddle up and you do it anyway, Pilgrim. So that's what you're doing. You're saddling up tonight for this.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So not only are you Corey's favorite driver, you're a lot of folks' favorite driver. And you've got 2 wins in a row. Man, you're starting out the season so well this year.
Yes, it's nice to be on top for a change.
Yeah.
After the way we ended last year.
I've seen you whenever you've had drive shafts coming through the floorboard. You have had engines fall out back straight away. You've had so many things that have happened to you over the years. I'm just excited that you've got a great season starting off this year.
Yes, me too. It's nice.
Yeah. Now, are you still having cars prepared by Mark and Hoyt? Are they helping you with your program again this year?
Yes.
Good. They're good guys. They know what they're doing. Mark is he's kind of and Hoyt too. Those metric cars, those modified street, that era of car, I think they really know more about those than they do the late model cars. Now, they're probably going to rip me for saying that, but that's sort of what I think. I think they're really sharp on those kind of cars.
Yeah. Well, they definitely got a good ride under me this year, and as long as they'll help, we're gonna keep using them.
Well, is there anything that has changed on your car this year, generally speaking, from the past, as far as I know the color's the same, I know the number's the same, but is there any major changes to the car? Still the same car, or have you got a new one or anything?
No, it's still the same one. We got a new one last year. It was new.
Yeah.
So this is the second year in it.
So let's talk.
No, we didn't change anything.
Let's talk a minute about the 2 races. Tell me about them, and how did you get out front?
Got lucky with the drawing over there with that wheel, and started on the pole, outside pole both times, and just got the lead at the beginning and stayed there, and that was really wasn't nothing exciting.
Well, drivers have been telling me, I've been talking to drivers from Winterboro, and I've been asking them about that inside or outside start. Do you prefer the inside or the outside? And I've got a lot of folks that have told me they really like starting on the inside, but the outside seemed to work for you better.
Yeah, it just depends on the track, the track conditions, and that changes week to week over there. But last weekend, the track was really well put together, and it had 2 grooves, and there was potential for good racing in all the classes. So the outsides worked for me. I pretty much, every time I've been there, I think I've been on the outside most of the time.
Okay, well, that would be my preferred place to start, just simply because that seems to be the percentages seem to be that the person that comes out of turn 2 with the lead seems to be most often the person that starts on the outside. So that's what I look at. Yeah. So now let's talk about the future. You're going to be at Winterboro most all this year, or are you going to travel around? What you going to do?
We're going to get back up the road. Probably next weekend we might venture back out. We've been waiting to get Bryson's motor back. He had motor issues at the beginning of the year, so we've been waiting on that. And Winder's right here at the house, so it's just been nice to go over there and be home at a decent time instead of having that hour drive back home.
Yep, I understand that. And, of course, Hartwell is back possibly in the picture for some racing down the road maybe at the end of the year. And I know you like that place too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that to open back up.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think Jeremiah and the folks are doing a good job with that from what I can see. Jennifer, hang on a minute. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk some more, okay?
Okay.
All right, Jennifer Everett is our guest. We got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
The open road, it's filled with twists and turns, hills and valleys. However, what lies beyond that open road? A Jeep owner knows, because they go beyond the road to places that only a Jeep could take them. Right now, you can take advantage of unheard rebates and discounts at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Van, with all Jeeps in stock below invoice because Jackie Jones is overstocked with new Jeeps. That's Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Van in Cleveland. The best price every time. Period.
How many times as a kid did you pull your arm down and yell, "Blow the horn," at truckers you'd see on the highway, wanting them to blow their horn? What if you were that driver and some kid was making that same memory looking at you? That's what's available to you right now as a team member at Simpson Trucking and Grading. Big trucks, big salaries, big deal. And it's just waiting for you at Simpson Trucking and Grading. If you are open to a new career in the trucking or heavy equipment field, contact Simpson Trucking and Grading on Candler Road in Gainesville or give them a call, 770-536-4731. That's 770-536-4731. Simpson Trucking and Grading wants you.
What's this yellow stuff on my car?
It's that time of year. If pollen is all over your car, what better solution than the $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash? Ask for the Champ Show Car Wash, and you'll get it for just $5.
What's this red stuff on my car?
Well, if you visit the local dirt track, then you might just need to head over to Bulldog Car Wash and ask for the Champ Show $5 car wash. Yes, it's happening every day, just $5 for a car wash, but you have to ask for it. Make sure to request your Champ Show $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash across from McDonald's in Toccoa.
M&M Used Cars in Jefferson has a great selection of late model full-size trucks. Check out their extensive truck inventory, full-size diesel and gas models from which to choose. If you're looking for a low mileage, late model full-size truck, chances are they have exactly the one meant for you at M&M Used Cars. Check out the extensive inventory at MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. That's MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. Or stop by at 1312 Washington Street in Jefferson and see them in person. Apply for credit right on the website. 24-hour chat available as well. M&M Used Cars in Jefferson.
I've just got to tell you about the folks at J&C Auto Care in Toccoa. My truck was blowing oil all over the place. Well, I took it to several places who just couldn't figure out what was going on. But Jason and Clay knew exactly what to do. And you know why? They've been voted the best repair shop in Toccoa 2 years running. They're locally owned and operated. Check them out at 70 Mize Road in Toccoa. J&C Auto Care. Hi, this is Charles. Come meet me Tuesday night at Chick-fil-A in Toccoa. It's another health, hope, and horsepower hangout. We'll talk a little health, we'll share a little hope, and we'll talk some racing if you want. I'll even buy you some healthy grilled chicken nuggets and a Diet Coke. What could be better? I'll be there Tuesday night, April 30th at Chick-fil-A, Big A Road in Toccoa at 7 o'clock. Come meet me and let's hang out for a while, okay?
Tracks. We're talking racing on the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And we got Jennifer Everett with us on the line right now. Jabe Jones is my co-host here tonight. And Jennifer, I think Jabe's got a question or two for you.
Hey, Jennifer, this is Jabe. Who are your sponsors?
Well, I got a list this year that we're very thankful for.
All right, go for it.
Got Everett Peyton, which is my dad, which without him I wouldn't be doing any of this. Then I got Griffith Hill Farm, which is my family farm. My family, they help out a good bit too. Got Georgia Recycling Group with Joe Alewine. Mike's Wholesale Flooring, Dale Davis. Got Grady's Welding, Kyle Peppers out of Statham. Y'all get with him for all your welding needs. J&C Cattle, Jimbo Crumley. B. James Wellness, Brianna Merck. She is a reflexologist, and if you've never seen her, you need to get with her. She's amazing. Got Parker Family Farms, Terry Parker, Mark Cash Septic, Alpine Nutrition in Cleveland, Georgia. Y'all go see Holly and get your loaded teas. Got Southeast Miscellaneous Directors, Chris Woods, and Circle Track Performance. And we're very grateful for all of them.
Wow.
Well, good for that.
The most I've ever had.
That sounds like a list, a good list, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that is good to have. But we were down there for the first vintage race, and I got to walk down and watch you run that your race that night, and you done a heck of a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So now, who helps you on the race car?
Daddy.
So it's a Ray deal, huh?
It's a Ray deal.
That's
Most time in the shop, just me and him, really. Of course, Bryson comes out and helps us.
Right.
And then we call Mark and Hoyt whenever we need anything that we need to do to it. We'll call them, get their opinion, do what they say, and if things aren't working, we usually just take it back to them and let them work their magic. But mainly it's me and Dad for the most part.
Yeah, that's like when Debbie and I used to pull up and do remodeling. They'd say, "Where's your crew?" And we'd say, "We are the crew." That's the way it is with Ray. It's Ray's the crew, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Jennifer, listen, congratulations on 2 wins in a row, man. Try to make it 3 this weekend.
We're going to try.
When's the last time you won 3 in a row?
I've never won 2 in a row.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. How cool is that? Well, make it 3 this weekend.
Yeah, if Corey Ray has it, she's trying to get us trophy rich.
Yeah,
so.
shoot, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, she'll carry all those trophies. That's for sure.
Oh, yes.
Jennifer, hey, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. You did great. See how good you do at this kind of stuff.
I don't know about that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thanks. Jennifer Everett has been our guest driver of the J19. Let's check out some Mary Chapin Carpenter right now. You know what Mary Chapin's done? She's gone down to that darn twist and shout. Let's listen to her. Okay, here we are. That was fun. Jennifer's fun to talk to. I always like her. We kid her. I'll tell you this story about her. One night we were at Livonia, and I had Jennifer on the show the night before. So the last text that I had sent was to Jennifer thanking her for being on the show. Well, so I'm sitting at Livonia, and about 10:30 or 11 o'clock rolls around, and I thought, I'm going to send Debbie a message. And I said, just wanted you to know I love you. Have a good night. And I realized I sent it to Jennifer. So that was our running gag there for a long time. I love you and have a good night.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But she was sitting there. I could see her trailer on pit road. And as soon as I hit that, I was up in the tower. As soon as I hit that, I saw her look at her phone, and I went, oh, man, I can't believe I did that. So anyhow, that's some real behind-the-scenes stuff right there. So now let's talk a little bit more about your deal. For so long, and I need to tell you this, for so long, you just kind of were in your daddy's shadow.
Yes.
And you proudly took that on. I mean, you wanted to promote Jabe, and he was something special. I mean, in so many ways, as far as a community organizer, as far as a fire department leader, as far as race car driver, sportsmanship award that he got at Anderson that he valued so much for the drivers wanting him to be that. In the Hall of Fame, I mean, he was just a man that was just superlative in the racing world.
Yes, sir.
But you kind of took a back seat, and yet you've got a racing history that's quite unbelievable in all the things you've done.
Well, we tried, followed in Daddy's footsteps, watching, listening, doing what he wanted, and following along. So we did good. I mean, and, like my very first one, he was going to summer camp when I went to my first race with one of the old Airwood cars, and went in somebody else's name. And then the next morning he said, what's that doing behind my truck? And I said, well.
So he didn't know it.
Well, he did know somehow, because all the boys that, Roy Deal and all them, they told him I was at the racetrack. So he come and watched, and the next morning he said, I said, what do you think about it? He says, well, I think you done okay. So from that on, he helped me. He didn't want me to race, but he started helping, and it turned out good.
Well, the 08 number has been associated with y'all for so long with Jabe, and I know the story about how it became an 08 from a 98. Tell that story. People don't know that story.
Well, my mom and Daddy they bought a car from Sam Elrod, and it was 99. And so instead of changing it all around, Mama had shoe polish, the old shoe polish you used to paint shoes with, and just made a 0 out of the, and it was 98. 98. And she made a 0 out of the 9, and that's how it became 08.
Yeah. But now there was a long period of time, though, when you were racing in the sportsman division, all that, you were a 04.
04.
So what brought that on? Why couldn't you run an 08?
Somebody else already had the number. Through NASCAR, you had to register.
Right.
And so somebody had got to the 08 before I got to it. And then, like I say, I adapted 09 when we started running Hooters Pro Cup Series. And so I just stuck with the 09. Daddy was 08. So that was his number.
Well, I've still got a framed autographed picture. You autographed it for me many years ago, that 04 car.
At Charlotte.
At Charlotte, yeah.
That was a good time.
Now, that was a Igloo sponsor. I think Igloo sponsored that. It was a sportsman series. It was something Humpy Wheeler came up with. It ran at Charlotte and Pocono and
Richmond.
Richmond, yeah. That was a really good series till Gary
Batson.
Gary Batson, lost his life at Charlotte.
Well, Gary was the start of it, and then Russell Phillips, and then I think there was 3 all together that sort of stopped it.
Yeah.
It was Winston Cup and Busch cars, with your Saturday night local 350 with a 2-barrel.
Sort of like Hooters, the first Hooters started
The first
out
Hooters
yeah.
Pro Cup Series.
Yeah.
So it just, you didn't have, you had to hold it wide open. If you lifted, you were dust.
Yeah, wow.
So, and you just didn't have no power to pull the car out from a spin or do anything.
Yeah.
So it just, everything, especially when they got to wrecking, it just kept piling on.
But you ran on super speedways.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty, well, except for Richmond, but at least Charlotte.
Richmond's fast.
Yeah, that 3/4 mile, that's my favorite racetrack. I
It
love
is.
Richmond, man. There's something about that track I just really like.
We got to go there in the Busch car after we run the Sportsman Series for 2 or 3 years, and then I got to run Busch for 2 years, and it was just way above my pay grade.
They eat up some money in a hurry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was working with Don Stegall and Shane Hall back in those days, and I remember Stegall talking about they pulled to the racetrack, and he said, you know how much it cost me to have Bush's beans put on the side, or Lux beans put on the side of the hauler? Not counting the race car on the hauler. It was like $80,000 to have that thing completely decked out. Just the hauler. Yeah.
And it's unreal.
Yeah. A lot of money. And the Busch Series, we used to travel. We'd go in on Thursday. We'd come home on Sunday night, and you felt like you was never at home. You're always on the road, man. It was a grind.
Well, that was one of the things about Hooters Pro Cup. It was every other weekend.
Right.
It sort of gave us a break, but still, trying to get the race car ready, it took away from family life.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Oh, what are we doing?
We're going straight into Brandon's interview.
Okay, Brandon Haley's coming up. Okay. You know cornbread, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, we've met, I think, a long
y'all
time ago.
run in the same circles.
Yes.
All right, here we
Out
go.
of Livonia.
All right, tighten up. We're going on radio. Hold on.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And glad to have Jabe Jones with us as our guest host tonight. Logan, who we got on the line?
We got Brandon on the line.
Brandon Haley, Cornbread, is with us. Hey, how about that? Brandon Haley is here. He was in Victory Lane last Saturday night at Livonia, and that was a pretty cool deal to see him back in Victory Lane. Brandon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's good to have you on here. Good to talk to you.
It's been a while. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, it has been a while. I know you and Jabe have got some things in common because not only have y'all run dirt for a long time, but you got to run a little bit of asphalt. You took off to, was it Martinsville or Richmond? Where'd you go?
First one was at Martinsville.
Martinsville, yeah. So you got a little asphalt work in there too. Has that made you a better dirt track driver?
I think in some ways it has. I approach stuff a little bit different. Having know a little bit about that, and I think it has.
Do dirt track racers worry about saving tires or tire wear or anything like that, or you just go out and don't really care because it's such short races? How does that work?
I do. I try to think about it, especially in them day races. I didn't really get to conserve tires. I was just trying to finish races when I was asphalt racing, so I went as hard as I could every lap. But I especially in the long run, got to do it. I think about that a lot.
I got you. Now tell me about the race at Livonia. How did you get the lead? And like you said, it's been a while. So what did you do different this time?
Hadn't really done anything different. I felt like we've been there. We've been right there. We hadn't really, for like the last 2 years, I think with engine troubles what's got us. But I felt really good toward the end of the year last year, and I went over Austin's car over the winter and set it up identical to mine and went out there and qualified up front. I mean, that was all it was, qualified up front and got the lead on the first lap and tried to make consistent laps after that. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Are you one of those drivers that has certain marks that you like to hit on the racetrack and try to race the track more so than the competitors?
I don't have marks, and I thought I was kind of weird for that, but we was going around Richmond and for a rookie deal, and we was all in a van, and Randy LaJoy asked who drove off what they seen and who drove off what they felt, and I think I was the only one in the whole van that raised my hand for what they felt, and I felt kind of awkward doing that, and he's like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. He said a lot of people do that. So I just based off sound and hear and feel, and what I hear and what I see and how I feel it, and kind of by the seat of my pants deal.
Yeah, well, that's, I've heard a lot of drivers that talk about that seat of the pants feel more than a specific place that they try to turn in or brake or something like that. And I think that's, if you've got that ability, I think that is something that kind of separates you from everybody else, if you have the ability to do that seat of the pants feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've always been. I've tried to look at stuff, but I find myself not paying attention to it. So I'm trying to worry about what all the other stuff is going on. So I don't know. I don't know the other way, but I feel comfortable the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you got an engine that's working right, then you got something less to worry about, right?
Yeah, that picked us up a bunch. I never would have thought. I mean, we went week after week after week changing stuff, and we never would know if it fixed it till we got on the track. And then it finally just let go, and found out, I guess we'd been having trouble with it for a while.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, sometimes it's those things that you don't really know that there's that much of a problem, like if something bent under the car. You'll search and search and search, and then you'll find it and say, that's the reason. It's always good to know there's a reason. It's not the driver. There's some kind of mechanical reason.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah. Hey, Cornbread, hang on a minute. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk a little more, okay?
All right.
Brandon Haley is our guest. Got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We are My Country 99.3 WCON.
If you're looking for late model used car parts, look no further than Peach State Auto Parts on the Royston Highway in Cannon. That's in the Gold Mine community on Highway 29 between Hartwell and Royston. Scott Heumann and his staff also buy scrap metal, copper, and aluminum cans. They will pick up your junk cars for free. If you need roll-off bins or containers for business or construction, call on Peach State Auto Parts and Recycling. Call Scott today at 706-245-4407. That's 706-245-4407.
You know what Debbie and I don't do anymore? Clean our pool. That's because we've hooked up with Aquabot of Georgia. The Aquabot robotic pool cleaner is #1 in pool cleaning technology. This amazing robotic technology maps the pool floor, scrubs and microfilters your water down to 2 microns, saving you time and money on expensive chemicals and water. You simply plug in the tangle-free power cord, drop it in the pool, and walk away to enjoy your free time. That's it. Stop by Aquabot of Georgia in Gainesville at Chastain Janitorial and see our friends Shane and Debbie Chastain. They'll hook you up. They've served North Georgia for 30 years. Check them out at aquabotofgeorgia.com. Your pool cleaning days are over.
Bowling Farm Supply is like a step back in time. Remember when you go to the feed store with your dad or granddad? Well, at Bowling Farm Supply, you can relive those great memories. Of course, they have feed, seed, and fertilizer along with soil, hay, and mulch, but they have so much more. A massive selection of knives. Names like Case, Buck, Poker, Hen, and Rooster, and handmade knives. Face jugs, antiques, Zippo lighters. It's more than just a feed store. It's a unique shopping experience. Bowling Farm Supply is located at the corner of Highway 198 and Damascus Road in Homer. Stop in today.
It's the Carolina Clash coming this Friday night at Livonia Speedway. That's right, tomorrow night the super late models will return to the 3/8 mile speed plant, playing $5,000 to win. Also this week, it's the 602 late models, the modified streets, the stock 8s, the stock 4s, and the front wheel drives. Grandstands admissions, $20. Pits, $35. It's all set for tomorrow night at Livonia Speedway, the return of the super late model Carolina Clash. The best 3/8 mile track in North Georgia is set to welcome you. If you're looking for the best shock package for your 602 late model, modified street, stock 8, or open wheel modified, then Joey Dorsey at Racecraft Performance is who you need to call. Joey's helped many top name drivers achieve success by building their shocks to be the best on the track, choosing from famous names like AFCO, Bilstein, Orem, Fox, and Penske. From dynoing your shocks to spring rate adjustments, Joey knows all the tricks of the trade. And don't forget your racing fuel. Racecraft Performance has that too. Contact Joey Dorsey at Racecraft Performance at 706-436-2294 or see him at Modern Tire in Hartwell.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And Brandon Haley is our guest. He was in Victory Lane in the limited late models at Livonia Speedway last Saturday night. And Jabe Jones is here with me, Brandon. He's got some questions for you.
Hey, Brandon, this is Jabe. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Who are all your sponsors?
I got Lake Hartwell Land Management, Downtown Beverage in Livonia, Keesler's Body Shop, Doug's Body Shop, LH&K Dock Services, Concept Graphics, and Race City Performance.
Okay. Well, who helps you on the race car?
My dad.
Your dad?
Me and my dad. And I get a little help from my daughter, Oakley. She's trying to wash tires. We get in the train right.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oakley's going to be your crew chief, right?
Yeah, she's already getting a good start at it.
Oh, man, I tell you what, it's always great to have the kids involved. It is a family sport, after all.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, that was my brother-in-law's car run Saturday night, and I want to thank him and my in-laws for letting me run it. I didn't really know what to expect. I come out of it beat up and bruised, not fitting everything, but I was just glad we had some speed. And I want to also thank my friend Nick and Rhett and Ashley for all they do. I wouldn't be able to take as much time to look at stuff I need to look at if I didn't have their help.
Well, Austin has had some success in that car. He's done pretty well in it.
Yeah, he's done really good. It's just, you have to look over so much stuff, and there's just a long list of things to keep an eye on, and sometimes a little bit of stuff gets off, and, it'll throw you off real big on the track.
Yeah. So you got a question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So how did you persuade Austin to let you drive his car and he didn't drive it?
Well, he was in Florida working, and I figured this would be just as good a time as any for me to take it and see what we could do with it. And I had a small list of stuff that needed to be fixed. I guess I got lucky qualifying. I didn't really like the way his gas pedal was, and I got back to it a little quicker than I needed to on my second lap, so I'm glad that first one counted.
Good deal. So now, did he know you were taking his race car?
Yeah, he knew I was taking it.
That's always a good question. So many times the answer is no.
Yeah, I don't guess it would have been too good if I had took it and wrecked it, and he didn't know about it till after the fact.
Yeah, ask Richard Petty about that story. Jabe, you got any other question for Brandon?
Well, Brandon, you said you was having motor troubles. Who's doing your motors and stuff?
Don Blackshear, Race City Performance.
Yes, sir.
Does now. Yeah, he's been a good help to me. I guess, I've went over all my concerns with him on the other one, and he was telling me everything I could to do to change and fix the stuff, but I don't think it was ever right really to begin with. So it's hard to, really know what was wrong with it. I run it for 3 years, and I think that whole 3 years it was that way. So
yeah, it's a good thing you got it fixed.
Yeah, well, we had to get a new one. It was gone.
Got you. Jabe knows a little bit about that. We'll talk about that in just a little while. He's been in that same boat. Yes. Hey, Brandon, listen, thanks for being with us, man. It's always good to talk to you. Congratulations on getting a win. Even though it wasn't in your car, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Maybe it won't be so long before you get me back.
Yeah, let's look at that. All right. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cornbread Haley. Brandon Haley's been our guest. We got more to come. And right now, here's something to come with you. It's Mark Chestnut. He's got it's a little too late. Yep. Sometimes that's the way it is in racing as well as life. Here's Mark Chestnut.
All right.
Okay. Boy, I don't know what I just went.
It happens.
Nutty on that intro there. I don't know what happened to me.
Just real quick.
Yes, sir.
Just to make sure all the marks are hit. Call letters and all that when you introduce the song.
Okay, I need to do My Country 99.3 WCON. Yeah. Well, I thought about that, but I was also afraid I was stepping on his lyrics. I didn't look up at the thing to see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It just next time.
Yeah, next time. Okay.
Because I don't want to get scolded.
See, Logan keeps me up to date. He is my race director.
Well, race director don't want to get scolded by the brass.
He's my spotter and my crew chief and my race director all in one. So he is in my ear telling me what I do wrong.
Yeah.
You ever had one of those?
Oh, yes.
Is it spotter or is it crew chief? Who's in your ear telling you what you're doing?
Spotter mainly. Daddy was always my spotter for as long as we raced. And he was always just to the point. If you can go, go. If you can't, you're clear. Stop. Now, slow down. Take your time. So he was always good to me. And then Kermit would come on every once in a while. Don't be so rough. It's equipment.
Yeah, I walked in to see Kermit one day down at the flea market, and the first thing he said, and I think this may have been what spurred my weight loss. He looked at me and said, "You've got fat." Gee, thanks, Kermit. Way to say hello. How are you?
And for a 6'4" man that weighed 300 pounds telling you you're fat, that's normal.
Oh, man.
But he gave everybody that.
He did. He did.
Didn't matter who you were.
Yeah. So now let me tell you a little bit about Peyton Bridges. He's coming up next. Peyton is a go-kart driver. He raced at Barnesville recently, and I mean, he has done some fantastic racing. Young kid. He's also raced late model at Cordele, so he's starting to do some asphalt racing, and so he's getting in an outlaw late model.
Okay.
So that's some of the things we're going to talk to him about. I don't really know him. I've never talked with him before, so I'm excited about getting to know him a little bit.
Is he the one we met at Athens reunion?
Possibly. I don't know.
Gave us a card?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's
because I've still got that card, and I think that was Peyton that came up and said, "I'm going to be on your show," and handed me that card.
Yes.
Yeah. So that we were talking that day when he came by. Yeah,
yes.
So,
Okay.
So that's Peyton.
I got his card in the trailer.
Yeah, we look forward to talking to him in just a little while. At the time he handed me that, I didn't put it together with the same guy that I'm going to have on the show tonight, or I would have paid more attention. But anyway, we had so much we had so much happening at that reunion. Even though we were standing there talking, people were constantly coming up saying, "You got to do this, you got to do that," and I just couldn't keep track of what was happening.
That was one of the best reunions that we've had in a long time. It was full.
The weather was great, and another one's coming up. Now, Banks County reunion is coming up. Bobby Irvin's getting ready to do that. That'll be at Banks County, and I've emceed, I think, the last 8 or 10 that he's had ever since he cut all the trees off the racetrack and got it back going once again, which has been probably 12, 14 years ago now. Yeah. So now y'all are going to be there, and then you're following a motorcade. I think there's going to be a motorcade with not driving race cars, but race cars on trailers.
Yes, sir.
Going to Toccoa for the race that night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
May the 4th at Banks County, and then we leave there going to Toccoa for the night, and then we're supposed to have autograph sessions, and everybody come up or us be around where everybody gets to see the old cars and enjoy what happens there.
Yeah, now this new division, we're going to talk with Jerry Williams about this later on in the program too, but this new racing venture that they've got, Classic Vintage Racing Series, they've gotten rid of, Frankie, you're right. It was so well put together. Donald just did such a good job, and y'all did a great job being there selling T-shirts for the CVRA. Yeah, CVRA. No, CVRC.
Yeah.
Classic CVRS. That's what it is. Thanks, Frankie. Anyway, it was a really great deal. And so now they've put together a deal where they've eliminated all the late model chassis with just fiberglass body stuck on there. There was so much of that going on. They looked like classic cars, but they really weren't. So I think that's been a smart move.
Yes. I hope the NVRA, which mainly is from Middle Georgia down, there we're going a different direction than we wanted to, and so we wanted to stay as stock to the 60s, 70s era, and show the people what the old cars look like, run. And I mean, even some of the cars we have now are real race cars from back then.
Yeah.
And like I say, old men like me are driving these things, and some of them, we race them, and they do get tore up.
Yeah.
So
that's
trying to find parts for
race them hard. Yeah. And now David Pritchett kind of had this idea a long time ago. The GVRA, when he tried to come up with the Georgia Vintage Racing Association,
yes, sir.
That's what he wanted to do, was go back to the Skeeters and the full body cars from that era.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of the same thing.
And there's one of his cars. Aubrey Holly has.
Right. Aubrey's got it.
I'm Aubrey Thurman.
Aubrey Thurman.
And he has. I'm hoping to get to talk to him and get him back in the series.
How far are we?
We got like 15 seconds left. Peyton's on the line.
And we do Peyton next, okay?
Yep.
And I will ask you when we go on who we got.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to talking to Peyton for the first time. Never talked
T-10.
to him, except that little day. Okay, here we go. Radio time, guys.
metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And we got our next guest on the line, I understand. Logan, who we got?
We got Peyton all lined up, ready to go.
Oh, Peyton Bridges is joining us on the program right now. Peyton, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. You too.
I'm excited to find out a little bit about what's going on in your world. I did watch part of the race from Barnesville, so I got to see that. So tell me a little bit about how long you've been racing go-karts.
I've been racing since I was about 5 or 6, and I'm 16 now, so been racing in about 10 years and love it.
Wow, so about 10 years doing that. So how did you move up? Did you start out in kid karts, or what did you start in, and where have you moved up to now?
Yes, sir. I started out in kid karts, and now I'm all the way in seniors and go-karts, and I've been working my way up in the late models, so yeah.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen you in an outlaw late model at Cordele. How did that go for you?
It's going good. We did a couple of races last year, and I got in a wreck, so kind of coming back this year and ready to go.
Now, tell me a little bit about that car. You're racing a number 4 car, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's the history of that car? Who's your car owner and that kind of thing?
Tommy Garner out of Hampton, Georgia. He built it around the start of last year, and we kind of made some deals, and we're driving it now. So,
gotcha. Okay. I have always heard from drivers that, especially for asphalt cars, that weight to horsepower ratio from karts over to cars makes it a pretty easy transition. Have you found that to be true?
It was definitely a lot different, mainly with the power and stuff like that. But the weight, it was definitely different. Just everything was different,
Yeah. I mean, number one, you got some suspension in a race car. You have, you are the suspension in a go-kart. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about Barnesville. How'd that turn out for you?
It went really good. We were very fast in practice. We didn't do qualifying. We did the heat races or whatever. We had the draw and stuff like that. And I think we won all the heat races in senior light and senior heavy. And then went out in the main events and won both of them.
Now,
very good weekend.
Let me ask you this question, because senior light and senior heavy is not nomenclature that I'm familiar with. I'm used to working at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and we have LO206 Junior, LO206 Senior, LO206 Master, so forth. So how does this fit in with those kind of terminologies?
I think L206 Senior at AMP is the same thing as heavy down here.
I see.
And then we also have like a light class, which is like in between junior and senior for the kids that come out of junior, so they don't have to put on so much weight.
Okay, so it actually is the weight of the driver and the cart. It's not the like different engines or anything like that.
Yes, sir.
I got you. Okay. What's on the plan for future here?
Probably just run most of the Barnesville races and do some kart racing at AMP and maybe some other races. Not really sure yet.
Got anything lined up for the late model?
We're probably going to be doing some testing here soon. So whenever we get some testing and see whenever we can go race.
Okay. Also, I got to mention this. Lucas Arnett was in one of your karts, and I got to see the heat race that Lucas was in. I thought he had a podium finish in that heat race. He wound up finishing 4th, but that was pretty cool to get Lucas actually in a kart.
Yes, sir, it was. He was super cool, and I'd like to have him back down there again. I liked him. He was fast too.
Yeah, if people don't know Lucas, he is the race director at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and cool dude. He's in charge of all the kart track stuff up there, and he's a nice guy. I'm glad to see him finally get in some racing action himself. Hey, if you'll hang on just a minute, Peyton, we got a quick break, and we'll come back and talk some more, okay?
Okay.
Peyton Bridges is our guest. More to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show. We are My Country 99.3 WCON. If you want him dead, call Fred. I've been saying this for years. That's because Fred Justice and the staff at Justice Exterminating can make your home pest-free. Justice Exterminating is your local full-service pest control company, serving all of Northeast Georgia. Debbie and I had huge problems. Bugs, roaches, rats, we had them all. Till Justice Exterminating came on the scene. They handled our pest problem in no time flat. We wouldn't go a single month now without our visit from Justice Exterminating. Give them a call today for a free inspection. 706-968 888-8519. Justice Exterminating will get you pest-free, I promise. Remember, if you want them dead, call Fred at Justice Exterminating.
The Addison Agency is your one-stop for all your insurance needs. Home, auto, life, commercial, farm, and annuities. They're the insurance agents for Debbie and me. You can find them in Toccoa at Design Point. That's just across Rose Lane from Coates and Clark. See Daryl, Bonda, Colby, or Mary Ann for the best quotes from Auto Owners Insurance. Call them tomorrow morning, 706-886-1247. The Addison Agency is our insurance agency. Make sure they're yours, too.
What a load! That's what you'll be saying when Gus Simpson pulls up with your load of gravel, topsoil, or dirt. Gus has been in the trucking business with his family his whole life. Now Gus has branched out into his own trucking company. Gus Simpson Trucking maintains a fleet of 15 late model dump trucks sitting at the ready to bring your load. Call them for a quote. Write this number down, 678-780-0197. You can also check out the Facebook page at Gus Simpson Trucking.
How is Husqvarna chainsaw durable and at the same time lightweight? And how can an XP chainsaw from Husqvarna help you work both faster and safer? It's in all those small, engineered details. Husqvarna, ready when you are.
Available at M&M Small Engines, located at the corner of Highway 145 and the 17 bypass in Toccoa.
What's this yellow stuff on my car?
It's that time of year. If pollen is all over your car, what better solution than the $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash? Ask for the Champ Show Car Wash, and you'll get it for just $5.
What's this red stuff on my car?
Well, if you visit the local dirt track, then you might just need to head over to Bulldog Car Wash and ask for the Champ Show $5 car wash. Yes, it's happening every day, just $5 for a car wash, but you have to ask for it. Make sure to request your Champ Show $5 car wash at Bulldog Car Wash across from McDonald's in Toccoa.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap, presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Yeah, everybody morning. I look forward to talking with Joel and Mary at the Champ Racing Recap every Monday morning, 8:45. Make sure you join us for that. Hey, Peyton, I got Jabe Jones here. He's got a question or two for you.
Hey, Peyton, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. One question. Where is your hometown?
Pike County, Georgia.
Pike County, Georgia. Okay. So how far is that from Barnesville?
About 20 minutes.
Oh,
okay. Not bad.
Close.
Who are your product sponsors?
Robert's Cart Shop, Signs and Wraps by RKS, Chase Bonding, Terry Short Apartments, WPB Trades, Atlanta Coring, and Garner Automotive, McNair Excavating, and my mom and dad.
Well, wow. Congratulations.
You got more sponsors than you got place on the fairing of that card to put those. How do you handle all that?
Thank you.
It's tough to be able to find a place to put them all. So now, are you, have you got anything actually this weekend, or are you taking a weekend or so off?
We're going to take this weekend off, and I think we got a race in Barnesville next weekend, so we'll probably go down there to that one.
Okay. Well, listen, we hope you do well. Thanks so much for being with us. I appreciate finding out all the information about you and glad to have you on the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Peyton Bridges has been our guest. Good to have him on the Champ Show tonight. Got more coming up right now. Let's talk a little racing. It's Sawyer Brown. The race is on. My Country 99.3 WCON.
All right.
See, I got
You
it
got
in
it that time.
I
You got
did
it that
good,
time.
Logan.
Yeah.
I did good.
Yeah. All right, this is going to be...
I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, this is just a one-song break because we got NASCAR after this.
Okay, we'll do the NASCAR report, and then we're going to Little Red Rodeo.
Yes.
Okay, Colin Ray. Okay. Yeah, NASCAR report. You ready for that? And Jabe and I can chime in on this, too, since we are...
yeah, I missed the race over the weekend.
We have watched the debacle that was television.
Yeah, it figures the one time I missed the race is the one time something like that actually goes down, you know?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, man, I thought, every lap, I kept saying it's going to be the big one. They got tight. They got tighter and tighter. They packed in. They were getting more and more aggressive. And then I thought they were going to make it. It's going to go all the way to the checkers without a problem, and it didn't happen.
No. Remember, they put a helmet on.
So
that's right. Yeah.
So the crash that went down, that was like right before the finish line and everything, right? Like
right
at
before
the
the
end?
finish line.
Wow.
Matter of fact, some of the guys that were in the crash finished like 4th, 5th, and 6th because they were already at that point, and the momentum spinning just carried them right across the line.
Wow.
Or sliding across.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to look at that after the show. I'm gonna have to find a
45 seconds of highlights, and you'll see the whole race, everything that happened, right? But you know what? I like what NASCAR's done now. At least it's not that follow the leader stuff. It's not that pack racing. I mean, there's a pack, but it's 34 cars in the pack.
It's the field.
Yeah.
The whole field's running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for Talladega, that's good.
Yeah.
And then you had the non-sponsor of what's his name from Florida running up front there for a few laps. The black 78 car.
Oh yeah. No, Hocevar's in the 77. Who's in the 78? McLeod. Is it?
Yeah, B.J. McLeod.
Yeah, B.J. McLeod. Yeah.
You know, he was running up front and doing a good job leading the pack until he run out of gas.
Yep, I know.
And then he got out of the way just good. Everybody made it home.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah, it's a interesting race. Talladega. You know, you have a lot of these first-time winners because it's more car than driver at Talladega most of the time. And you can put a no-name out there, and they might win. Look at Richard Brickhouse. I mean, people like that won their only race they ever won, and they just bested the field at Talladega.
I talked to Johnny Davison Thursday, which, you know, has the 4, the 6 car out of Spartanburg. And he brought me an oil pan that we needed.
I thought you were saving me something to me.
Oh, yeah. We got like 20 seconds.
Okay.
And he said he had his cars on the chassis dyno, and one of them was.
Wait a minute, what are we doing? We're going
Straight
NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
Okay, we got to talk NASCAR. We'll talk NASCAR on the radio.
Okay.
So hang on. Here we go.
T-minus 10.
Oh, man, I won't tell that.
I'm going to tell that.
5 seconds.
It's pedal to the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And it's time for the NASCAR report right now. Logan, where was NASCAR this past weekend?
NASCAR was at Talladega, and as you were mentioning right before we got back on the air here, you could watch a 45-second highlight and see all there was to see. Mostly tame, simple race throughout, and everything just kind of fell apart right at the end, like right before the finish line, you said. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Jabe and I were both watching that race, and Michael McDowell was leading the thing. He had it in the bag, we thought, and I told Debbie 2 laps before the end, I said, you do not want to be leading this race, and you sure don't want to get ahead of anybody. You want to stay as tight to Keselowski or Reddick or whomever as you can. He got a little bit out, and all of a sudden, here comes Reddick, and he tried to block him. And he did. He blocked him well. Then he cut down to try to block Keselowski, and that's when it all broke loose.
All heck come apart.
Yeah.
How many cars would you say were involved in that wreck there?
10 or 12 maybe.
12?
Was it more than that?
There was more than that.
I mean, he wrecked right in front of the whole field.
Yeah.
And Reddick was able to clear him on the high side and get the win. Keselowski, off of his bumper, got second place, and a lot of guys were just spinning and going across the start-finish line in the finishing order in the top 5, but they were spinning. So I don't know how many were actually involved in the race. Yeah, Billy Poindexter says he's got a good things to say about you, Jabe, talking about you being a stand-up racer. Oh, Billy Poindexter. Hadn't heard from him in a long time.
Well, thank you, sir.
So we're watching the feed from Facebook as people chime in on what's going on. So, Jabe, let's talk about that. Now, you've run some super speedway stuff.
Yes, sir.
How difficult is it to want to stay in line and stay behind the guy when you think, I can pull out into a second lane and maybe somebody will go with me, and what if they don't?
Well, it's when you pull out and you say, uh-oh, what did I just do wrong?
Yeah.
Because you go that way, you go backwards quicker than you went forward, thinking that you've got all kind of horsepower and everything, but if you don't stay in line and pick somebody to go with you, you're not going to make it. You're going to fall behind.
Yeah.
So.
Well, needless to say, the guy that went to victory lane was Tyler Reddick, and it was cool. Now, Tyler Reddick drives Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's car, and it was cool to see Michael Jordan walking around with Tyler Reddick's little boy walking around and going to victory lane, and it was just great to see Michael Jordan enjoying himself at a racetrack.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. He has brought a lot of notoriety to the racing world, and we're glad to see that. So anyway, that's what happened in the NASCAR report. Right now, it's time for a little Colin Ray. We've got him on My Country 99.3 WCON. Here's Colin.
Try to. It'll let me. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we? We're on Facebook.
We're
now.
on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you had something you were going to tell, but it's Facebook worthy, but not radio worthy, right?
No, it's okay. But I talked to Johnny Davison the other day. You know, he's the one that after we quit racing, he bought my hauler and used it for. Oh, I think he's still using it. But he said. That,
wait a minute.
So regarding the giveaway that you brought up, how are we going to handle that?
Okay. I'm going to read this little document right here. Did I give you one of my scripts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do a giveaway. So get by your phones. We're going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to read this script. We'll do that right after we do the intro when we come back in. And then we'll play another song, and that'll give people a chance to call in. Okay? All right. Sure. So yeah, I'm not going to give you the number now. You're not going to be able to do this.
Alan, Mr. Durden.
Yeah.
He's one that really helped him and Jerry Williams.
Yeah.
To put this together.
Oh, really? So Alan was a big part of it, too. Good deal. Thanks, Alan. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. Swainsboro, long way away. Yeah. Good to see. So y'all going to be running at Swainsboro?
No.
Okay.
I think we're supposed to go to Daisy Speedway, which is somewhere down next to Savannah.
Oh, really?
Which is a new speedway.
Never heard of it.
It's new. I mean, I think it's run a couple of times before.
Yeah.
But it's coming back. So we're supposed to go there sometime in August.
Yeah.
But it's a long way from Decatur, Georgia to Savannah.
Oh, I know. We raced, when I was with the series, we raced at that little track. It was in South Carolina, but it was right across the river from Savannah. The one that the legends raced on so much. Great little racetrack. It's gone now. Apartments have just swallowed it up. But, man, a fine little racetrack. And I've forgotten the name of it. Been a long time.
I sort of remember it.
Yeah, it is a great little racetrack. Anyway, so we were talking about
Johnny.
About Johnny, yeah.
Well, he'd come by. I had called him about an oil pan for another motor we had, and we were trying to put back together. And so he brought it to me, met me at Livonia with it, and he said, "I'm 4 horsepower off, and 4 horsepower at Talladega is a death." And so I said, he said, "I've tried everything I know to try to find the 4 horsepower, but they didn't make the field either."
Oh, wow.
With 4 horsepower off.
And that was a Busch Xfinity race.
The Xfinity race.
Yeah.
So that means a lot down
a little
there.
bit means a lot, yeah.
And who would think 4 horsepower?
Right.
But I guess if you're out there by yourself.
Well, and you're flat-footing it. It's not like you have any brake unless you just, and you don't even really take your foot off the throttle, I understand. You just hit the brake to try to slow down.
That's true. When we first went to Charlotte in the
T-minus 15.
I heard you tapping. I figured something's going on here.
Yeah.
15 seconds, and what are we doing?
We're going to go straight into the open. You're going to announce the giveaway, then we'll fire a song to let people call in.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. Thanks. And we're doing a song. What's the song?
Aaron Tippin.
Aaron Tippin. Okay. Got you. Okay. Here we go. All right.
My country is WCON FM, Cornelia, Athens, Gainesville. This is the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON. Presented by Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. From NASCAR to local tracks, it's everything you need to know with your host, Georgia Racing Hall of Fame announcer, Charles Head.
And hi, welcome to our second hour. I'm here with Jabe Jones as my co-host tonight as we get ready to talk some more racing. And we got something big coming up right now. First time we've done this. Going to be a weekly thing for us. Atlanta Motorsports Park is giving away a free kart rental. Have you ever raced the go-karts at Atlanta Motorsports Park?
No.
Oh, cool. You get a chance to go around. They give you some training, and they have the fire suits. They got the helmets. You just show up, maybe bring a buddy or two, and get out there and race the great kart track at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our third caller. Here's the number, 706-778-2241. Logan's going to answer the phone. If you're the third caller, you will win one free pass to the rental kart track at Atlanta Motorsports Park. Just know that they're closed on Monday. They're open every other day of the week. So many people are doing it. Businesses are enjoying it. It is just a whole lot of fun. So be our third caller, 706-778-2241. Right now, here's a little Aaron Tippin for you on our program as we get ready to do some more talk about racing in just a minute. This is Where the Stars and Stripes and the Eagles Fly by Aaron Tippin. It's on My Country 99.3 WCON.
All right, we got callers already.
All right, got callers. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen in a hurry.
That's
going to be so cool, man, to get out. They've been wanting me to come up there. Debbie told me the other day. They told me I can come race anytime I want to and just enjoy myself. So I'm going to go up there.
We'll go have fun.
And I'm going to go and embarrass myself on the racetrack. They're cool guys. Atlanta Motorsports Park has turned out to be one of my favorite places. You got to check that place out. I mean, there's one drop you come off and it goes down 40 feet, and you got to turn and do a 180 and come right back up the hill. And the rental carts get to do that too. So that's pretty cool.
So where's this?
Dawsonville.
At Dawsonville. Okay.
They bought part of the Elliott's property, and it's on Highway 9. Well, it's 53 and 9, and you stay on 53 for just a little ways. It's past Dawsonville, go past the pool room, and right up there to the roundabout.
Yep.
And it is the most immaculate place you'll ever see. Condos, they're making more condos right now. These condos are cool. The lower level of the condo has an elevator for your car. You drive your race car in there, and it raises up, and it becomes your centerpiece in your living room of your condo. I'm serious. I am serious. This is the most unreal place. $250,000, race cars that these guys have got up there at the main track, and just fantastic. Man, Lamborghini. We had Lamborghinis out the other day. Had a whole group of Lamborghinis. We had a whole group of Teslas racing the other day. The new Cadillac electric cars were up there. They were testing them out. Had like 25 of them up there. It is. When's the last time you went to a racetrack that had a putting green and a pool, a water slide?
Charles, do you want us to do anything on air with Blendon, or just?
No, just take down their name and their address and their phone number, and we'll forward that over to the folks. What were you saying?
Somebody said the phone number to the studio.
Yeah, 706-778-2241. But we got a winner already, It didn't take long, man. I tell you what, people are. This is going to be so much fun. I'll try to go up there with you one day and race with you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, Timmy, you know how that is. Timmy Jones, one of my buddies that races. He's from over in Honea Pass, South Carolina.
Okay.
And so Timmy's a good buddy. He's been around racing a long time.
Are you calling about the giveaway?
So, I think you just got to put it on hold at some point, Logan, since we've already got a winner. So we have a winner. Don't call any further. Next week we'll take caller 50.
He'll kill you.
He won't have time to do 50. But I don't think he's going to have time to answer the phone. Put it on hold, Logan. You can't answer every one of them now.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for calling in. This is going to be fun. Yeah, Lucas Arnett and I worked this deal out so that they could give those away. I think we just completed it yesterday, so we're excited to offer that. That's going to be fun. A lot of businesses go up there. They'll have an outing and they'll take all the salesmen, like Mega Motorsports in Tacoma. They took all the salesmen up there
to have a
day
out.
They're spinning each other out and they're just having a ball, you know.
Hey, Charles, who's our next guest on your list?
Who is the next guest on the list?
Mine's blank.
Dink McKeehan.
All right, Dink.
At 8:05. Dink.
All right. We're about ready for you. We got.
You got Dink on the line?
Yep. You got 10 seconds. Can you hold just?
Okay. What am I doing here? I'm going straight to Dink. Oh, we got to do results.
We'll do results. We'll do results and Dink.
Okay. All right, you're going to start out with Tacoma. I'll do Livonia, and I'll give you back the Winder.
Okay.
Here we go.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap. Presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Yeah, it's time for the results portion of the program. Our results brought to you by Mid-South Cage Equipment in Royston, Georgia. Scoot Rice and Jeremy Rice and all the folks at Mid-South. They'll take care of you all the way through from the time you decide you want to be a poultry grower. They'll build it, they'll design it, they'll equip it, they'll do everything for you. So just give them a call at Mid-South Cage Equipment. Jabe Jones has got our results from Tacoma Raceway.
Hello, Tacoma Raceway. Drew Benfield won the limited late models. Kenny Collins won the 602 late models. Billy Buffington won the modified street. Matthew Ferguson won the stock 8. Chris Nickerson open wheel modified. Justin Taylor stock 4. Terry Calhoun pro trucks. Preston Kelly front wheel drive. Griffin Smith 602 Charger. And Dick McKeehan Sharp mini late models.
Yeah, Dink's going to join us here in just a minute. He's on hold right now, so we're looking forward. I don't have to ask Logan who it is. He knows we got Dink on the line. Livonia Speedway on Saturday night. Brandon Haley, we just talked to him a little while ago, limited late model winner. Kenny Collins is on a roll in Eric Stiefel's car. My goodness. He won that 602 late model race. Modified Street, it was Royce Bray. David Dove won the Stock 8. Cy Strickland got the win in the open wheel modifieds. Evan Brown won the Stock 4. Northwest got the win in front wheel drives. And Aiden White won the Young Guns. How about Winder?
Winder Barrel was Chris Woods in Limited.
It was a Chris Woods show, wasn't it?
It was Chris Woods Limited, Chris Woods 602 Hobby, Jennifer Everett, Modified Street, Chase Chansey, Stock 8, Justin Taylor, Stock 4, Riley Gaines, Stock 4B, and Joel Cabe, the front wheel drive, and must not have had Crown Vic.
No, they alternate front wheel drive and Crown Vic. So This week wasn't Crown Vic. This week was front wheel drive. And Atlanta Motorsports Park, they had the big downforce cars running on the main track up there. And in the Unlimited, it was Raiden Nickel. Who else? Yeah, Raiden Nickel, the youngster, doing a great job there. Greg Folger won the SR3s and the SR1s. It was William Layton. So those were the winners from Atlanta Motorsports Park. And we do have a winner. Who was our winner, Logan?
That was Landon Payne. Landon Payne.
Landon Payne. Hey, Landon's going to be able to go up there and show his prowess on the karts at Atlanta Motorsports Park. That's a good deal. Holding right now on the line, it's Dink McKeehan, and he goes by Dink. He goes by Chris. He goes by Timothy. I never know what name to call him. I just call him Dink Gone Wild. He's joining us right now. Dink, how are you?
I'm doing good, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I didn't know you had a Sharp Mini late model.
Well, it's actually not mine. We actually drive those for a guy there at a Carnesville named, his name is Charles. 4 of those things, and we're just trying to get them going around. We're trying to get them going around this part of the. We're trying to get them going the Northeast Georgia area, and we're trying to run some of the series races also.
I got you. Now, was Cole also in one of his cars?
Yes, he was. He was driving the number 3 car. He was driving the Earnhardt car.
I got you. So y'all were first and second in that race, right?
Yes, sir. That was a pretty cool moment to be a father-son 1-2.
Yeah, that's pretty neat because y'all have not really ever had an opportunity to race together. He's been racing 602 Charger, and you've been in Limited or whatever, and so y'all have never had a chance to race together, have you?
Well, we've raced a couple times together at Winder. He's run his 602 car in Limited with us, and he's done good, and we've and I think that's about the only race together. Other than the Sharp Mini late model stuff, but that's pretty cool getting to race with him.
Yeah, and getting to be competitive with him. If he's running a 602 with Limited, he's not really competitive with the guys running up front. But here, man, y'all got to finish 1-2. How cool was that?
Oh man, that was something else. Because that's something you always dream about with your kids. Is like you hope that he's gonna be as good as you are, and he's showing he's a little bit better than me now.
Yeah, I started to say on the other end of it, he's looking at like, now when can I beat Dad?
That's right.
So now you went on to was it Travelers Rest or Harris that you went to Saturday night?
We went to Travelers Rest.
Okay, and was that also the Sharp Mini late models?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, how'd you do in that race?
We took all 4 of our cars up there, and my car had a problem in hot laps, so I had to hop in Madison's car, which was the pink 55, and then I qualified it and qualified third. And then we had a problem with it, and then I had to end up getting in Charles's car, and I had to start dead last, and I come from dead last to second.
Wow. When's the last time you drove a pink car?
It's been a while.
Now, you got a lot of experience. We've talked about this in the past. You've got a lot of experience on asphalt. Man, you ran at Peach State. You ran at Lanier. You've run, I think you've even run some ARCA stuff. What all have you done?
Yes. I've run ARCA series. I've run a couple Busch races. I've run super late model asphalt, run super late model dirt, and I run go-karts, of course. And then we raced at Lanier and Peach State and Sonoa, and I've also raced lawnmowers. I've raced about everything you could possibly race.
You need to get in one of those karts at Atlanta Motorsports Park, man. You ought to try yourself out on the road course. That'd be fun.
You know what? Ever since I've lost weight, I wouldn't mind actually doing that.
Yeah, you need to do that now. There's you wouldn't have to run in those senior heavy divisions.
That's right.
That's right. When are you going to break out the Limited car to go in Livonia, or are you going to get back at those tracks?
Yeah, we're going to Winder this weekend. I'll put back together. We went to the Dome with it in December, and we bent the front clip. So I took it down to Bobby Sexton. He got me fixed up at Gambler's Performance, and we got it all put back together, and we think we got everything squared away. So I think we're going to take it down to Winder and see if we can go in there they said we can do a little shakedown with it this weekend, and then we're going to try to start taking it with us to as many of the Sharp Mini late model tracks that'll have us.
Yeah,
that we can run both cars.
That's good. Yeah, as Woody says, you're going to try to go take somebody's lunch money, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Dink, hang on just a minute. We got to take a quick break. Come back and talk a little more. You good with that?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dink McKeehan is our guest. Got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
When you're a get-the-job-done kind of guy, the type of truck you get behind matters. It needs to be tough, trustworthy, and above all, it needs to be a Ram. America's longest-lasting pickup trucks and trusted by more than get-the-job-done type of guys than any other truck on the road. Take advantage of the Ram clearance sale right now. All Rams in stock sold below invoice at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Highway 129 Cleveland. The best price every time, period.
The Addison Agency is your one-stop for all your insurance needs. Home, auto, life, commercial, farm, and annuities. They're the insurance agents for Debbie and me. You can find them in Toccoa at Design Point. That's just across Rose Lane from Coates and Clark. See Daryl, Bonda, Colby, or Mary Ann for the best quotes from Auto Owners Insurance. Call them tomorrow morning, 706-886-1247. The Addison Agency is our insurance agency. Make sure they're yours too.
Bowling Farm Supply is like a step back in time. Remember when you go to the feed store with your dad or granddad? Well, at Bowling Farm Supply, you can relive those great memories. Of course, they have feed, seed, and fertilizer along with soil, hay, and mulch, but they have so much more. A massive selection of knives. Names like Case, Buck, Boker, Hen, and Rooster, and handmade knives. Face jugs, antiques, Zippo lighters. It's more than just a feed store. It's a unique shopping experience. Bowling Farm Supply is located at the corner of Highway 198 and Damascus Road in Homer. Stop in today.
If you're looking for late model used car parts, look no further than Peach State Auto Parts on the Royston Highway in Cannon. That's in the Gold Mine community on Highway 29 between Hartwell and Royston. Scott Heumann and his staff also buy scrap metal, copper, and aluminum cans. They will pick up your junk cars for free. If you need roll-off bins or containers for business or construction, call on Peach State Auto Parts and Recycling. Call Scott today at 706-245-4407. That's 706-245-4407.
Mid-South Cage Equipment is one of the largest builders of poultry houses in the Southeast. At Mid-South, they welcome your questions about new technology in the poultry growing industry. From construction to final equipment installation, Mid-South Cage Equipment is your one-stop shop for the poultry grower. Shore-time bins and augers, Ziggedy drinking systems, and cool air handling systems are just a few of the top brands available at Mid-South Cage Equipment on Highway 29 north of Royston.
Listening to the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And just a bit of a programming note, if you tune in to my Facebook page, that is Charles Head Yellow Hat, you get to hear all the behind-the-scenes stuff because we don't carry any music on the Facebook feed. It's all on radio, so you get to hear a whole lot more stuff. You get to hear things you can't tell on the radio, like Jabe was trying to say a while ago. Dink McKeehan joins us right now. Dink, I think Jabe's got a question for you.
Hey, Dink,
Okay.
how are you?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
Well, who is all your sponsors?
I want to thank Ricky Castro, RN Pre-Tress Transportation, A-Ross Performance Parts and Fuels. I want to thank Charles Evans for everything he does for us for the Sharp Mini late models. Evans Mobile Truck Repair. I want to thank Stenchcomb Paint and Body. And I want to thank Gambler Performance, Art Collins Trucking, Oh So Good Water, Dirt Car Lift, and Pit Row Creations, and DGW Powder Coating.
Wow. Okay. Now, by the way, Pit Row Creations, that's Cole's deal. He's got, he's just doing some great things with all those GoPros he puts in cars.
Yes, I am extremely proud of him for all that he's done with that.
Yeah, he's a good little entrepreneur at his age. I'm tickled for that. He carried me through that whole deal one day and told me all about it. And that's an impressive thing that he's done.
Yep.
All right. So now tell me this, where are you racing this weekend?
We're going to Winder this weekend with the limited car, and then I think we're going to Swansea weekend because they're having the Sharp Mini late models there on Friday and Saturday. we're not for sure if we're going to be able to make the Friday night show, but I know we'll be there Saturday for the Saturday night show.
Yeah, I know that you told me before you're going to Winder. Do you think you're going to be competitive just shaking that car down, or you think it's in good shape?
I think we'll be pretty competitive. We was pretty competitive. We went down there 2 weeks ago for the first night that we took it out just to kind of see if we had anything fall off or make sure everything was going to be good. And we was only like 4/10 off the pole then, and I hadn't put no new tires or anything on it, and really went through the car. And I went through the car the last 2 weeks, and we bought a set of tires, and we'll see if we can go in there and make something happen, because we had some good runs down there last year with Chris Woods and Ken.
Yeah, I bet so. And my hat's off to Ken Lamp. He is just showing what a true sportsman he is, coming out with the difficulties he's had and still competitive and still with such a great attitude.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep, Ken Lamp's a great guy, and certainly love talking to him every time I come to Winder. Well, Dink, listen, man, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself at Winder, and I know you're going to enjoy it when you get back behind the wheel of that Sharp Mini late model.
Oh, yes, sir. I can't wait.
All right. Thanks so much. Dink McKeehan has been our guest. It's time to do a little country talking. We're going to do that with Alan Jackson because he's gone country right now. Alan Jackson on My Country 99.3 WCON. We'll be back with Billy Buffington coming up in just a few minutes.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, and I know you, Billy, go a long way back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I'll introduce him as this. He's my best friend in racing. Always has been. I just enjoy Billy. So sometimes we have we're such good friends. Whenever you're that close to somebody, it is difficult to interview them.
Yep.
Because you've talked so much, it's hard to figure out what do we need for the audience to hear.
To what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Like I say,
we've gone off on some tangents before, and Billy would say, "How in the world did you come up with that?" And I said, "I don't know." David McCoy and I are the same way. McCoy and I will start talking about something, and we'll get way off the beaten path, and it'll be like, "What in the world am I saying?" It comes out of my mouth like, "What am I trying to say here?" Anyway, that's real behind the scenes stuff right there.
Me and Billy grew up together.
Yeah.
That side of town, went to school together. He was a grade ahead of me, and you're
not in a shot. You need to slide over something. Get in the picture.
So we went to school together, and all the way through. And then, like I say, I sort of went to Kermit's and got away from Toccoa and was in Livonia most of my life racing, but stayed in touch with Billy and some of the boys around here, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And finally got to help Billy on fixing some of his rear ends in his stock cars.
How about that?
So
now let me ask you this. When did you switch over from running dirt to asphalt? And you started, was Anderson or Greenville, what became your first home track when you went on asphalt?
Greenville Pickens.
Okay. And everybody loved you at Greenville.
Yes.
What, did they have a nickname for you over there?
Bones.
Bones? Why?
Well, back then I didn't weigh 120 pounds.
Oh, really? Okay.
Back then, but yeah, it's different now.
Things change.
Yes. But
too much Jackaroo barbecue sauce, right?
Well, that and a little bit of everything else. Age has not done well. But we had a good time at Greenville Pickens, and we was trying to grow and go up the ladder, and Greenville Pickens was one of the stepping grounds going up.
Yeah, I know Brian Morgan was talking today on the Facebook post that I put out, and he said, I was a fan of his back in Greenville Pickens all those years ago. So a lot of folks remember you when you ran at Greenville Pickens.
We enjoyed it, and we have a lot of good friends over there.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends of all times of racing was Marty Ward.
Yeah,
and
I lost Marty this year.
Lost Marty, and we ran Greenville Pickens. We ran
Hooters,
Sportsman Series together.
Right.
We ran Bush together. We ran Hooters Pro Cup together.
Yeah,
and it transferred into a good friendship all along.
Marty was one of the first ones in the old Hooters Pro Cup. Whenever it was the old Bush cars that didn't have much of a motor in them, when they'd go down in the corner and manhandle it and turn left. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say a while ago was when we first went to Charlotte with the sportsman car, Ricky Sanders was there, Ronnie's boy.
Yeah.
And he come over, and I was talking to him, and he says, "You know what you got to do?" And I said, "What's that?" He says, "You put your right foot down, hold it to the floor, and you put your left foot on top of your right foot, and you don't lift. And that's how you run them." And I'm like, "Huh? You got to be kidding me." So went out, made a few laps, and he's right. You never lift your right foot. Wow. You just keep it planted and keep your other foot on it and keep it going.
Well.
So we had a good time.
So what kind of car were you running back in those days? What was it?
A Monte Carlo. It was it was a banjo, suitcase Jake's car that we had. Bill Pace, Blaine has been my with me from the early '80s. He moved from Hendersonville, a transplant from North Carolina, down here to Colbert or to Livonia. So we've got him down here, and his dad got us a car from the Hendricks, and so we ran it the first 2 or 3 years in the Sportsman Series.
Now, wasn't that a requirement? It had to be an old Busch car or an old something. Old Winston Cup car, yeah. So now they had different wheelbases though, 105 and 110 inches. Yeah. So what would you find was best?
The 110.
Oh, really?
It felt better.
Huh.
It was more stable and everything. And then, like I say, when we went to the Busch Series, we got a car from Kerry Botenheimer, which Bill knew Kerry, and that's how we got started going up that road that way. So it was always fun.
Now, I have to tell you this. Mike Love told me one time, said he asked Bud Lunsford, he said, they've come out with it. They're allowing 110-inch wheelbases now. He said, should I go that or should I stay at 105? Bud said, Mike, let me ask you a question. Had you rather go down in the corner driving a go-kart or a school bus? So Mike said, kind of put it in perspective.
That's how it happens. But it's stable. It's just the 105-inch wheelbase is a little quicker on its movements, and you feel it.
Really?
But on the big, long racetracks, the 110 is just so comfortable.
Yeah. What was your best finish in Sportsman?
Second.
Where'd you run at?
Charlotte.
Really?
First night under the lights.
Oh, sure enough. Was who won it? David Smith? Who won that?
Jason Keller.
Oh, Jason won it. Oh, man, I got some Jason. It says Jason and Shane were best buddies.
Yes.
And I got some Jason Keller stories that are not fit for radio, and they're sure not fit for Facebook, and they're sure not fit for radio. So we'll tell some of those. What are we doing?
Billy Buffington's on the line. We are good to go.
Oh, how many seconds?
We still got a minute.
We got a minute. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Huh?
Yeah.
Billy, Poindexter. It was one of the greatest shows, man. I loved it, and I think they carried those on like TBS or one of the Humpy had a deal with one of the networks, maybe TNT or somebody.
I remember being on, but I'm not sure which TV show. But I remember getting somebody taped them for me, and I got to watch them that way or whatever. So it was fun.
Yeah,
so
that was good stuff, man. Yeah, Billy used to work with Shane Hall and us on that deal. I never turned any wrenches or anything. I was just a PR guy, and I was telling somebody the other day, I was on the pit crew at Rockingham, right behind the Labanis. Bob Labani. Yeah. I was on the pit crew, and Debbie said, "You were never on a pit crew," and I said, "I was. That one race, I got to hold the sign. I was considered a pit crew member. wasn't over the wall, but I was a pit crew member." Oh, what are we doing?
T-minus 10.
10 seconds. Okay, we got to get our radio faces on. And we're talking with Billy Buffington. So I'm going to ask you, though, who it is so we get your voice on here. So here we go. I don't know.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And welcome back to the program. Glad to have you along here tonight as we talk racing. And Logan, who we got?
Got Billy Buffington on the line.
Billy Buffington, my favorite friend in racing. I always enjoy talking to Billy. And Billy, I got Jabe Jones here with me tonight. I think you may know Mr. Jones, don't you?
I think I met him somewhere around the road.
Well, finally got you a win. I mean, not finally, but it's only been one race until you put it in victory lane at Toccoa. Obviously, that was going to happen very early in the year, and congratulations to you on starting out another season.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It came pretty quick. Glad to get the first one maybe behind us. We can try to get another one here coming up pretty quick. And just had a good night. Things kind of went our way.
So now, how many years does this make now? When did you run your first race?
1985.
85. So, man, next year will be, what, 40 years?
I guess
50
so.
Years, 40 years. What's the math? 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah, not 50, but 40 years.
He's making us older. You see that, don't
you?
I know it.
So now, did y'all ever run together, Jabe? Did you ever run against Billy in any division?
I don't think so, did we?
I don't think so. I don't think we ever did.
Because it was 84 when I left, and 1985 was my first year at Greenville.
Okay, so you were not racing dirt at that point.
He'd done moved on.
Yeah. So now, you did some work on Billy's cars.
Yes. I helped Billy with his rear end. He had it was bent just a little, and we picked this up from Kermit after he passed away. It's fixing 9-inch Ford rear ends for folks or quick changes, whatever. So we done that.
So this has been fairly recent.
Last year, wasn't it, Billy?
Yeah, you've worked on it 2 or 3 times, I think. I'm kind of accident prone, I guess.
Nah, they been.
Well, now, you had a pretty good year last year. You stayed out of trouble. When I say pretty good year, I mean, obviously a track championship. That means you had a good year. But as far as not having a lot of bad luck or having to do major surgery on the car after big crashes or anything, it was pretty docile season, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a good season last year. We won 5 races at Toccoa. It's a tough class. Everybody knows that. When all the guys are there, it's tough. I mean, anybody could win, but we done good. We had a good season. I hope we can do maybe half as good as we did last year this year. So.
Well, there's some new players that have come into like Rex Hambrick got a strong car, and he's kind of a new one in the modified street. Of course, anytime that Chad Puckett shows up, he's going to be tough there as well.
He's going to be tough.
Yeah, and has Brady
Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer. If she gets back to Toccoa, y'all have had some great races together.
Yeah, sure have.
As Brady, is Brady Hunt? Has he got a modified street now?
He does. He does have one, and he's trying to get it going. Maybe it won't be too long, I hope. Look forward to racing with him.
Well, I know he'll look forward to racing with you because you've really helped him along, and I know that's going to be one of his dreams is to get to race against you.
Yeah, we've raced a couple of times. He drove somebody's car, and he done a good job. Both times he drove it.
Yeah, I remember him doing that. I'd forgotten about that. Matter of fact, it may have been Rex Hambrick's car he drove.
It was. Matter of fact,
yeah,
it was.
Yeah, Rex was gone that night, and I think Justin let Brady run that car. Yeah, I remember that. And he was running really well, and something happened. He had a tire go down, or it ran hot, or something. He had to pull in, as best I remember. Yeah,
I can't remember.
Well, you were on the track. You didn't see all that unfold. I was up top and got to watch it all. So Billy, when you look back over the years, man, you've been racing 39 years now. Is there one particular instance that pops out at you as just that you want to hang your hat on that kind of signifies your racing career?
Charles, there's probably a lot of them. I just can't think of anything that comes to mind. I guess, having some good years, over the last 39 years, winning some championships, running good on a racing on a budget. I'm thankful to have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Had some good sponsors over the years, very good sponsors, loyal. But I appreciate every one of those years.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Pontiac Grand Le Mans or Camaro?
I still get asked that every so often. A lot of folks still remember that car. I like the leaf spring car for the class that we run in. The Pontiac was a good car, the metric car.
Yeah.
I just kind of stuck on them, I guess.
Good deal. Hey, Billy, hang on. We're going to talk a little more. We're going to come back and talk about those sponsors in just a minute. Billy Buffington is on the line with us, driver the number 10 in the modified streets at Toccoa Raceway. More to come on the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show after this break here on My Country 99.3 WCON.
The open road, it's filled with twists and turns, hills and valleys, but what lies beyond that open road? A Jeep owner knows, because they can go beyond the road to places that only a Jeep can take them. Right now, you can take advantage of unheard-of rebates and discounts at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, with all Jeeps in stock below invoice because Jackie Jones is overstocked with new Jeeps. That's Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Cleveland, Georgia. The best price every time, period.
Hey, let me tell you about one of my absolute favorite racetracks, Atlanta Motorsports Park. It's the ultimate motorsports playground. From the high-performance F1 style road course to the challenging extreme kart track, you'll find Atlanta Motorsports Park a facility like no other. The country club atmosphere features features not only the performance of the high-powered racing machines, but also a putting green, a great pool area for lounging, and a world-class skid pad to learn how to handle any out-of-control situation. The kart track is a mainstay for those who want to rent a kart for an experience like no other. Check out the schedule of activities at AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com. It's in Dawsonville. Just follow the signs to fun.
Do you remember as a kid riding along with your Tonka toys, dozer, and dump trucks? Well, that childhood memory can come to real life at Simpson Trucking and Grading. Now, Simpson is looking for men and women who want to work and who know the value of a hard day's work and who want to get paid well for doing it. If you're open to a new career in the trucking or heavy equipment field, contact Simpson Trucking and Grading on Candler Road in Gainesville or give them a call, 770-536-4731. That's 770-536-4731. Simpson Trucking and Grading wants you.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Napa know-how.
Get all the Napa know-how you need at Napa Auto Parts in Toccoa, Clayton, Cornelia, Commerce, Jefferson, Hartwell, Elberton, Westminster, Walhalla, Seneca, Anderson, and Easley.
The Baja is back in action this Saturday night. Winder Barrow Speedway is home of some of the best grassroots racing in the South. Scheduled divisions are limited late models, 602 Hobby, Modified Street, Stock 8, Stock 4A, and Stock 4B. Gates open at 4 with racing starting at 7. That's racing this Saturday night at Winder Barrow Speedway. Head to the Baja at 330 Donahue Road in Winder.
Pedal to the metal with the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And Billy Buffington is our guest, and Jabe and I know Billy very well. I think Jabe's got a question or two for you. Better brace yourself, Billy.
Uh-oh.
Hey, how are you tonight, Billy?
I'm doing good.
Well, good to hear from you. Oh, I am. Let me ask this question. Who all is your sponsors?
Who are my sponsors? I got one or two. Been real blessed about that.
Well, good.
Currahee Security Systems, Haddock Collision here in Toccoa, Georgia Metals out of Danielsville, Ivester Construction Services, Cookies by Brett, real good cookies, by the way. And I got some new ones this time, My Exploring out of Livonia, Looking Glass Salon here in Toccoa, J&C Auto Care here in Toccoa. And we're working on a couple more that looks like going to come help us out a little bit.
Ah, sounds like you got
a bunch.
You got a car full of them. That's a good thing.
Yeah, been blessed, really have. And the people that, that work on this thing a lot, always somebody coming to help.
Well, who are all the people that come to help you?
Well, Scott,
Okay.
Brady Hunt, Mark Henderson, Ricky Pitts, there's several. My nephew Ryan, when he's down here, always somebody to lend a helping hand. And people like you, Jabe, that can straighten these rear ends.
Well, thank you.
Well, now, what about
other questions?
What about it? What about the racetrack? I know that Scott's usually with you at the racetrack. Who else you got that helps you at the racetrack?
Oh, well, there's generally 2 or 3 of these that I called out will be there every week.
Yeah.
Mark, Johnny, and there's always somebody.
Have you checked out Billy's new trailer, enclosed trailer?
No.
Man, I tell you, that thing is sharp. He has redone it from one end to the other. It is a gorgeous piece of work.
Well, I'll go see it next Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of work in progress, I tell you.
Yeah, but how many years? You've had that enclosed trailer now. This is what, second year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for 33 years, you drug it on the back of an open trailer to the racetrack, and now you're getting to enjoy the luxury of an enclosed trailer, right?
Well, I don't know if it's luxury. I like the open trailer, but this trailer has its benefits.
Yeah. Nice trailer,
Get
man.
somewhere when it rains.
Yeah, and when it's hot, got a place to go get a little respite there too. That's good.
Yeah, well, it's got air conditioner in it.
Yeah.
So it works pretty good.
Well, listen, Billy, always good to talk to you. We appreciate you being on the program. Congratulations on starting out early
Thank
with
you.
the first win of the season, and I smell another championship coming on.
We're going to try. It's going to be tough. There's some good cars like we were talking about. Anybody's capable of winning that division. It's a tough division.
Yep, it's a good one, and we will look forward to seeing you. Maybe get over one Saturday night and check things out again. It's kind of my home away from home at Toccoa,
Yeah, come on over. We miss you.
All right, well, listen.
Looking forward to seeing Jabe and his crowd there when they come.
That's going to be
I love them, too.
Well, it's going to be a big night. Yeah. Well, listen, thanks, Billy. We appreciate it. Good to talk to you. All right. Billy Buffington, driver the number 10. He has been our guest here on the Champ Racing Show. Now, you just can't get any more heartland than Billy Buffington and the folks at Toccoa Raceway.
No.
Now, here's George Strait to tell us about a little heartland on My Country 99.3 WCON. It's George Strait time. Yeah. Okay, here we are.
Yep.
So, man, this 2 hours have gone fast, hasn't it? It doesn't seem like it has gone.
You see that double take he took at the time up there?
Yeah, this show just goes so fast, man. I just love it. It goes a lot faster than the other hour used to go, doesn't it?
It does.
It's unbelievable. Got so much
This
stuff
is
going
good,
on.
though.
Yeah.
I mean,
and when do you just get around? I mean, it's like me and you sit around your shop and just sit and talk. Well, we're doing that now in front of 7,000 or 8,000 people.
Well, that's like down at Kermit's. It used to be the round table.
Yeah.
When everybody would come in down at the chicken house and they'd sit around, it'd be called the round table. And all, Kermit, Daddy, Bill, all the people that was there have little get-togethers and talking, and that was enjoyable to have.
Yeah, special times.
Yes.
And everything that was told was the truth, always.
Believe that.
Yeah, that's a bench racing at its best. So now you are enjoying the I started to say NVRA, but it's the CVRS. You're enjoying that now. What do you, as a competitor, what do you still get out of that? Now, you're not out there just putting on a show and an exhibition. Y'all are trying to win a race.
Yes, sir. We are. If you've drove a race car or you're a sportsman, you want to win no matter what you do. And, you finally get a chance to go back and run a little bit. I mean, I don't want to run every weekend. I'm over that. I'm just, but 5 or 6, 7 times a year, we get to all sit down, talk, enjoy. And then when, as some people say, when you put the helmet on and you strap it up, brain leaves, but you get to think, and that's your resting spot of going.
Yeah.
And then, like these old Skeeter cars back, I mean, yes, I get to drive one now, but back then it was men.
What are we doing?
Nothing. I just.
Oh, okay.
I was
Scared
just
saw going away. Okay.
It was men that drove them things.
Right.
In T-shirts and in slack pants.
Right.
But they were race car drivers.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the guys now, yes, these 4-bar cars that they have, I got to drive. I mean, we've got a 602, and we let Brant Carey drive it because we're asphalt.
Brant, we're watching, and we talked about you a while ago. Yeah.
See, there you go. But he knows more about the 4-bar stuff than we did. I mean, I got to drive it a couple of times, and yes, I would love to drive it some more, but I don't want to get that itch and that feel of doing this because I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy what we do, and I enjoy the family life back.
Right.
I have a blast.
Yeah.
So just getting to drive every now and then and getting to see people and showing the old people what these old cars, I mean, we're not far off of late model times.
That's right. Yeah.
Now with these things.
And it's just amazing what these cars can do. The competitive spirit, it doesn't matter how old you get, you got it. I was announcing, I have to tell you this story. Have I got time? What kind of time I got?
Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I got plenty of time. I was announcing the IndyCar race at Atlanta. Now, I mean, IndyCar, that's a big deal, And before the race, in these little roadsters, the little legend-like roadsters that Humpy Wheeler did, we had a match race between Al Unser Sr., Al Unser Jr., and Johnny Rutherford. And so I'm down there, and I'm interviewing these guys, and they get in the cars, and they run this 15-lap race. And Al Unser Sr. wins it. Al Jr. runs second. Johnny Rutherford runs third. So I'm going around and I interview the drivers. So I go up to Johnny Rutherford and I put the microphone. I said, Johnny, man, it's great you're here in these little cars. Are you having a good time? Them damn unsers jumped the start just like they always do. And I thought, he was not out there for an exhibition. He was out there to win. All of them were out there to win no matter what.
And like I say, all the guys that come here, they're wanting to win, but they want to also be fair, honest, and that's what I have enjoyed about this little series that we've got going on. And everybody talks, nobody gets mad at each other, but it's just sort of the way we, got away from the NVRA. They wanted to go to cars that have the 4-bar system,
right?
And there wasn't nothing like that back in the 70s,
right? Yeah.
They were some strange stuff.
Maybe Bud Lunsford had something like that. They didn't call it that, but
him and Speedy Thompson.
Yeah, him and Speedy did Speedy Evans.
Speedy Evans. Yeah. They had some unremarkable stuff,
right?
But we want people to come up. Oh Lord, and like when we used to go to J. Bird Ramey's,
junkyard stuff. That's right.
You pull a part off, give me $5. You want a radiator, $5.
Yep.
That's when racing was at its funnest, really, because you wasn't spending that much money.
Yeah.
But now it's.
Oh, and you go to the junkyard and you buy something and you bring it home and you heat it and twist it. You figure out a way to make it better for what you needed.
For what you want.
Yeah. That was the way I started out in 55 Chevrolets. We just monkeyed with stuff to figure out what we needed.
You and Leon.
Yeah.
T-minus 10.
All right. What are we doing?
Jerry.
Oh, we got Jerry online.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Lord.
5 seconds.
Get ready for radio.
He was at the shop all day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a good man. Really is.
Get weekend results with the Champ Racing Recap. Presented by Jackie Jones Dodge Jeep Ram. Monday morning at 8:45 on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And we've been talking about this classic vintage racing series all night long with Jabe Jones here in the studio with us about how it's really kind of revolutionized the way that fans are able to look at race cars now and see the old-timey race cars. One of the guys that put this thing together, kind of the brainchild of Jerry Williams, and he joined us on the program, and he's like a stone's throw away from the studio, probably the closest guy that we've got to this studio right here. Jerry, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, Charles.
We could have 2 tin cans and a wire, a cord between us, and probably do this interview like we used to do back in the 3rd grade, right?
There you go. We could do it.
Well, you have put together a great deal. Jabe, of course, runs in it. Y'all have taken what was the NVRA and you've made it more localized and more specialized in that you're actually running cars like ran in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. You're running. It may not be the identical car that ran back then. In many cases it is. But at least it's got the same specs as they had back in those days.
We try to stay as close to it as possible and still have a safe car. And, they have to be upgraded some. And just try to keep all the drivers safe. But now the NVRA is still alive.
Yeah.
They just went in a different direction, or we went in a different direction.
Right.
They were getting too late model, basically a Camaro on a Longhorn chassis.
Yeah, I know it. They did a lot of that 4-bar chassis stuff. Yeah, or 3-bar.
Right. And my whole thing for breaking out and doing this is I want it to stay vintage, and that's our goal. Our goal is to come to the track and put on a vintage race.
So how did you do that? Did you go back to like the old rule books from the 70s and the 60s? Did you use those rule books to govern this, or did y'all just say, hey, I think this is the way it used to be?
Well, more like this is the way it used to be.
Okay.
We basically what we done, Charles, is we put a big limit on the suspension.
Mm.
None of the rollover, the hiking up, the pulling the left rear wheel forward like the late models do now.
Right.
You've got to run a little bit of late model stuff. I mean, the old stuff is gone.
Yeah.
But our emphasis is having a good flat handling race car, just like you watched in 1965.
Yeah. Now, Jabe's here with me, and Jabe, you know as well as anybody that in the last 20 years, 25 years, shocks has been the big deal, man. Shocks and tires. Well, we didn't have that technology in the 60s and 70s.
No, they used to drill holes in them and change oil.
Yeah, right, exactly.
To get what they wanted.
Right.
And weld it back up.
And we wanted the stiffest race car you could get and the most weight up front.
Exactly.
We didn't know anything about crush zones and all that kind of stuff back then.
No, we didn't.
Right. And we've got a shock rule. We have to run cheap shocks. We can't do any of that. You got to run a new shock, but none of the big high-tech technology.
So,
and we're go ahead.
I was just going to say, so when you go to a racetrack and you've got these, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15-year-old kids coming by looking at these cars, what's the most, what's the biggest comment that you get from them? What do they say about these cars?
Wow.
Yeah, a wow is one thing, and just I can't believe it. How does that work? There's just some of the shifters, some of the layout of the interior is just not like what they've seen.
Yeah. Now,
and if they're, let me say this now, that if they're a little bit younger than that, and they walk by a car, we'll pick them up and throw them in it.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it.
And say, turn that steering wheel, boy, and call mom and daddy and say, come and take their picture.
Yeah.
That's what we are there for.
That's a great thing. The thing about vintage cars, and now the full-bodied cars, you may still see some of those on the racetrack in a modified street or a stock 8. They may be somewhat similar to those body styles, but especially when you get to the Skeeters, nobody's ever seen anything like that.
No, that's what, it's hard to find anybody nowadays even know what the word Skeeter is.
Right.
And some of those cars, just like Jabe's car, is a very old Skeeter. The Gary Smith's car, that is a Bud Lunsford Buck Simmons original car.
Right.
So they're watching what was back in the day, and that's pretty big to me.
Isn't that car?
Which I'm old now. I love the vintage.
How old are you, Jerry?
I'm 75.
Oh, well, you got a few years on me. I'm 70, so we're close together anyway. But that is the actual car that Bud Lunsford wrecked at Cumming, wasn't it?
It is. It's the one you can look up on the internet, and it's just wadded up like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, you know what Bud told me? Bud told me, he said, I thought I was going to die. He said, I got out of that wreck, and he said, I had to prove to myself. He said, I didn't care if I proved it to the fans or not, but I had to prove to myself I could climb back in a race car the next week and go race. And he won that race. And he said that was because I had to prove it to myself I could still do it. And he said, I almost quit. He said that was the biggest turning point in his life.
And that's true. And I took that car and showed it to Speedy Evans that initially built it.
Yeah, I bet he was interested in seeing it.
Oh, it just tickled Speedy to death. And Bud was right. He drove the next week, but the kicker to it is he drove that same car.
Yeah, I know. They got it back together.
Speedy Evans and Leon Sales built that car back in a week, same car.
Bud told me that
won the following Saturday night.
Yeah, Bud told me that Speedy said, I'm going to get this car ready. You're going to take this same car to the racetrack once again. Now, I don't think he went back to Cumming, did he? It was at a different track.
I'm not sure of the track, but he won the very next Saturday night.
Yeah, that was cool.
Same car, same. I mean, that's remarkable.
And I said this to somebody this week. I don't know who I was talking to, and I was telling them about the fact that I put it in a Facebook post. Bud Lunsford, somebody was questioning how many wins he had, and was it all documented and all that. And I said, I don't care if Bud won 1 or 10,000 races. Whenever he came through the grandstand at Toccoa, I was about 4 or 5 years old. He was taking up money for somebody with his helmet like drivers do. And I said,
right.
And Daddy looked at me and he said, that's the driver of that gold car. And Bud looked down at me and he acknowledged me and said hey to me. And I was a Bud Lunsford fan from that point on. And to get to work with him in the tower at Lanier all those years, man, you just can't ask for a better career than to be able to work for Bud Lunsford. That was just so much fun. So anyway, Jerry, my producer is telling me we got to take a break. So hang on just a minute. We'll come back and talk a little more, okay?
All righty.
Jerry Williams is our guest. We got more to come. It's the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Champ Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
For all your welding and safety equipment needs at Safety Plus in Cornelia, Wendell and Pat Norton can supply you with the best equipment in the industry. Miller and Lincoln Welders, Victor Torches, gloves, fire extinguishers, and personal protective equipment, all in stock at Safety Plus in Cornelia. They have everything to keep you and your work environment safe and under control. Safety Plus is located on Cannon Bridge Road. Safety Plus, a proud sponsor of racetracks and drivers in our area.
I've just got to tell you about the folks at J&C Auto Care in Toccoa. My truck was blowing oil all over the place. Well, I took it to several places who just couldn't figure out what was going on. But Jason and Clay knew exactly what to do. And you know why? They've been voted the best repair shop in Toccoa 2 years running. They're locally owned and operated. Check them out at 70 Mize Road in Toccoa. J&C Auto Care.
M&M Used Cars in Jefferson has a great selection of late model full-size trucks. Check out their extensive truck inventory. Full-size diesel and gas models from which to choose. If you're looking for a low-mileage, late-model, full-size truck, chances are they have exactly the one meant for you at M&M Used Cars. Check out the extensive inventory at MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. That's MNMUsedCarsJefferson.com. Or stop by at 1312 Washington Street in Jefferson and see them in person. Apply for credit right on the website. 24-hour chat available as well. M&M Used Cars in Jefferson. Modern Tire and All-Terrain of Hartwell is all set to equip you with the best tires on the market today. They offer all major brands of tires for your car or truck, as well as your off-road and all-terrain vehicles. They have tractor and farm implement tires too. Brakes, alignments, oil changes, equipment rentals, and roadside assistance are always available at Modern Tire and All-Terrain. Plus, they're your home for truck accessories too. Lift kits and leveling kits available for purchase or installation. And also racing supplies and performance shocks to help the local dirt track racer. Financing is available on all purchases. That's Modern Tire on 293 West Howell Street in Hartwell.
If you want him dead, call Fred. I've been saying this for years. That's because Fred Justice and the staff at Justice Exterminating can make your home pest-free. Justice Exterminating is your local full-service pest control company, serving all of Northeast Georgia. Debbie and I had huge problems. Bugs, roaches, rats, we had them all. Till Justice Exterminating came on the scene. They handled our pest problem in no time flat. We wouldn't go a single month now without our visit from Justice Exterminating. Give them a call today for a free inspection. 706-968-8519. Justice Exterminating will get you pest-free, I promise. Remember, if you want them dead, call Fred at Justice Exterminating.
El Patron Family Mexican Restaurant wants to thank all their loyal customers who have made them the #1 family restaurant in Cornelia. El Patron offers the finest in Mexican dining, from their all-you-can-eat crab legs on Mondays to Thursday trivia to Sunday family time. El Patron is there to please. Outstanding customer service is what has made El Patron Habersham County's choice for 12 years. Come enjoy the atmosphere and the food at El Patron Family Mexican Restaurant on Historic Highway 441 across from Billy Kane Ford in Cornelia.
To dirt tracks. We're talking racing on the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCON.
And Jerry Williams is with us right now. Jerry used to be behind the wheel quite often, but he's kind of given that up to somebody else right now as he runs the series and prepares cars. And Jerry, I think Jabe's got a question or two for you.
Jerry, who is all of the sponsors for the CVRS?
Well, our main sponsor, we were very, very lucky. We got a corporate sponsor on board, and we wouldn't have been able to do all of what we're doing without them. It's Auto Metal Direct, or AMD. They sell all the classic car reproduction sheet metal. They're located in just north of Gainesville, Georgia, and that's really the only sponsor we got right now.
Hey, Jerry, let me stop you right there. Let me stop you
Okay.
right there and ask you this question. Do they carry a roof for a 34 Bantam?
No.
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 Okay. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And hey, I wouldn't give it to Jabe Jones if they did.
All right, continue on with your sponsor. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's all right. That's the only sponsor we got right now. We're working on some more race-to-race sponsors, but none have really signed on. But I think they're coming. But everything's just looking so good. I mean, we're getting good response everywhere. We've after the race at Winder a couple of weeks ago, they called me today and they want another race, so we're gonna race there again in August. We just picked up, I think, Screven today. We hadn't set a date yet. Going to Screven. still talking to Swainsboro about going to Swainsboro, and we're running Chatsworth at North Georgia Speedway. We're running Dixie. I mean, it's looking good.
Wow.
Livonia, of course.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be more than every other weekend. You get a lot of races in there.
Right. It's really taken off. Got people calling me every day wanting the rules, thinking about building the car. We even got, at Winder last week, Marty Lance showed up with one of his old race cars.
I saw Marty.
Totally run it. Beautiful, beautiful Camaro.
It looked great. I'm excited for Marty. Number 17, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Number 15.
15. Yeah, Marty's number 15. It's been a long time since I've seen Marty behind the wheel of a race car. I'm excited to watch him run one night.
The little blue Nova or Chevy 2 that was at the Athens Reunion Car Show, David Archer.
Yeah.
I just heard today that he's going to run.
Good. Glad Archer's going to be back out in the car, too.
That's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really looking good. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
Good deal.
Really do.
Good deal. So the next race is coming up May 4th at Toccoa. That's going to be a big one because you got the Banks County reunion that morning, and then everybody's going to go.
Everybody go there.
Yeah.
Everybody go support Bobby Irvin. You can't go and hang around Bobby Irvin and not have a good time. I don't care what you do.
That's exactly right.
So,
Might be a little barbecue. It might be a little
support
bluegrass music, too. Yeah.
It might be a little bit of line. It might be something. But you have a good time around Bobby Irvin. We're going to have all of our cars there that can come that early. And then we're going to, like Jabe said, we're going to go to Toccoa and put on the best show we know how to put on.
Well, it's going to be great. Listen, Jerry, we appreciate it. Thanks for being on the program, and thanks for bringing the old cars back to life once again.
And we're going to keep them alive.
Sounds
Thanks
good.
for having me, Charles.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerry.
See you,
well,
Jerry. Bye-bye.
yeah, it's been
Thank
great
you.
having Jerry on. We got a little bit more coming up on the show. Right now, it's time for a little more music. This is the Tractors with Baby Like to Rock It on My Country 99.3 WCON.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you that Terry Labonte story after we get off Facebook. This is not Facebook worthy nor radio worthy for sure. So, somebody, if you want to ask me this when you see me out somewhere, I'll be happy to tell you. But I ain't going to tell it on Facebook. So anyway, so you were talking about Justin Labonte kind of helped you with this. You remember Bob Labonte?
Yes.
Bob was a great guy. Just passed away last week. He was such a great guy. Had that 44 car. That was the family car. They had Slim Jim sponsorship on it forever. Yeah, they kind of brought Slim Jim into the All-Pro Series with Bobby, and then Bobby, of course, graduated on up to the Busch Series and on up into Cup, and Terry was already in Cup and all that time.
And the Slim Jim went with him all the way up through Busch Grand National, and then when Justin come along, the Slim Jim came over to him, and Granddad was taking care of that.
Yeah.
And they were good people.
Bob Labonte was just a super guy. Like I said, we were he was a terse. we parked next to them at Rockingham whenever we were to race up there, and man, they were just so forthcoming. They would loan us stuff. They would tell us, now you need to be doing this, or they'd even tell you what tire pressures to run. I mean, they were just genuinely nice folks. And Terry was driving the car that day.
But he said, "Don't go look at my car."
That's right. Yeah, I'll tell you
what.
I'll
loan you what you want, but you ain't gonna go look under.
That's right. What were you gonna say, Logan?
Oh yeah, just wanted to make sure we were on the same page for how we're. So we got the tractors going right now. That's going to go straight into a stop set. When we come back, the re-intro will fire, do the upcoming and stuff over the close. Will that work?
Yeah, just do it over the close. So we're not going to do the last song by Craig Morgan.
We're not.
We're too far on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do upcoming, and upcoming is, let me write it down right quick. Toccoa on Saturday. Livonia is running Friday, so Livonia is doing the Carolina Clash. Yeah. And David McCoy, by the way, running in that Carolina Clash. So David's kind of coming back home. Maybe he'll have a good run at
Casey's going to be there.
Yeah, Casey's going to be running too, Casey Roberts. So it's good to see Casey back in Gus Simpson's car. That deal came together really quick, really weird. I was talking to Casey. I was over at Smokey's shop, and I was talking to Casey about that happening. I said, how'd that come about? He said, I don't really know. He said, all of a sudden, we're just talking one day, and Gus said something about, when are you going to drive my car? He said, all of a sudden, I was in it. I didn't even expect it. So
good.
And that's good. Gus and them, of course, lost Miss Simpson last week.
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Mama Simpson died. And our sympathies go out to the Simpson family. Great folks, great sponsors of this program. Greg and Sean and Gus just doing a marvelous job continuing that legacy on that Mr. James started at Simpson Trucking and Grading. Yeah. So anyway, Toccoa is Saturday. Livonia is Friday with Carolina Clash. Winder is Saturday. I think that's all that I need to talk about.
Good.
I don't know what Amp's got going on this weekend. man, they got so much stuff going on up there. I never know when they're running at Atlanta Motorsports Park. They may be running karts this weekend.
Okay.
I think. I don't want to say that, though, because I'm not sure. And that's members only. It's not like fans show up for that, but it's such a fabulous place, man. Anyway.
That sounds good.
So Logan, what do we got? Where are you going to go? You going to be at a racetrack this weekend?
I might. If I go, it might be Toccoa.
Listen, seriously, you ought to consider announcing. You got the voice for it.
Yes.
You're learning so much about it. Just get up there and act like you know what you're talking about. And
just act like it, huh?
Yeah, just act like it. And somebody will correct you if you're wrong, believe me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet.
But man, I'd love to see you get into announcing. It was great for me for 54 years.
That's how you got your start, right?
Well, I started in radio.
Yeah.
And then I wound up announcing because of the radio gig, but I was already running a race car anyway. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, I've been around the racetrack all my life.
We just started with the stop set. We got
commercials are playing now on radio.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, as we speak.
So Jabe, is your car ready for Toccoa? Or you got to still work on it. You got the engine today.
No.
Oh.
It's not right.
Oh, it's not. Oh no.
So
well, you were doing dyno work today.
Yes, sir. We were dynoing the motor for it, and
people say that's just an old race car. Why in the world are you dyno? You're competitive, man. You want to win. You want that engine as peak as it can be, right?
Yeah. You know, Gary Smith and Woody Calloway and Happy Winslet and Mr. Adams. Lamar Adams is the one that owns my car and owns the 602 car. Him and Blaine own it, and we let Brent Carey drive it.
Yeah.
But still, when I have to run against them, I still don't want to be beat.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. You know, I still have, y'all stay behind.
Yeah.
But, they want us to race and put on a good show. So.
And by the way, while we're talking about this, Brent Carey, Mr. Freddie Massey passed away last year, and Brent's driving Freddie's car. And the family, Mr. Freddie wanted this racing to continue. He wanted because I wondered what was going to happen to Brent and his ride there. But the Massey family, and they reiterated this at the Athens reunion. Yep. They want Brent behind the wheel. They want to continue to race. That's what Mr. Freddie would have wanted, and I commend that family for still doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vaughn is he loves racing too. I mean, like I say, I drove for Mr. Massey there for about 2 years in the maroon 34 Skeeter car.
Mm.
And
Brent's in that full body 34.
Yep, he's driving the
Chevy
2 car.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, the Massey family is above and beyond. They love racing. Mr. Massey always loved it. But when COVID come along, he wanted to back down a little bit. Then Mr. Adams come along, and I got to drive for him, and I work on his cars. And then we bought the 6-cylinder I drove for Gerald for Mr. Adams.
Mm.
So he gets to race with us.
See.
But still, I got to beat the boss.
Well, that reminds me of the Cushmans with Casey. Man, they were just dyed in the wool racers.
We're on our last spot right now. We got 25 seconds. I'll fire the reintro. Signal me as soon as you want me to fire the Champ Show close.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I will have maybe 20 seconds. I want to say goodbye to Jabe, and I want to say goodbye to you, and then we'll fire it, and then I'll talk about.
Yeah.
No, I'll do upcoming, and then we'll fire it, and I'll say goodbye to y'all.
Just
okay.
do one of these.
All right, I'll do it.
T-minus 10.
Stand by, everybody.
This is the Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Champ Racing Show with Charles Head on My Country 99.3 WCON.
Yeah, coming up this weekend, a lot of stuff happening at local tracks. Friday night, that's tomorrow night now, the Carolina Clash, the super late models, are going to be at Livonia Speedway. You'll see Casey Roberts. Smokey's not riding a race car yet, but you'll see Casey Roberts. You'll see David McCoy, a lot of those favorites that you'll see at the Carolina Clash tomorrow afternoon at Livonia Speedway. It starts. And then, of course, Saturday night, you've got Toccoa Raceway and you've got Winder Barrow Speedway also racing on Saturday night. So visit a local track. Let's keep racing alive and well in Northeast Georgia. It's doing great right now. Thanks to Jabe Jones for being with us, man. Jabe, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun talking. It has been wonderful. Also, thanks to Logan Bennett, our producer, who's done extraordinarily well tonight. We appreciate that. Thanks to you for viewing. Tell your friends about it and have them join us next week on the Champ Show as well. We'll be here right on My Country 99.3 WCON, and you get the inside view at Charles Head Yellow Hat on Facebook. See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
You've been listening to the Champ Racing Show on My Country 99.3 WCOM. Presented by Jackie Jones, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland. Find more racing news on the Charles Head Facebook page.